Alright, if your Impala has a loud knocking or tapping noise coming from the dash, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. And there's dozens of these videos on YouTube. Quite frankly, I don't know why I'm even making one, but I figured I might as well. So we start the car. Turn the AC or heater on, whichever one you want. Go through the different modes. This one, in this case, I already did the recirculating door actuator, and then it started making the noise again. Fortunately, I got lucky here. It's the passenger side actuator, so it's easy to get to. You drop down the glove box, and behind the glove box is a little actuator right there. You see that little wire and the little sticker. Here's the new one. That's what it looks like. So watch what happens when I turn the passenger temperature down. And the best way to figure out which one it is put your hand on it. You can feel the loud tapping coming from that actuator. And then as soon as I turn it back up, it goes away. For the most part. Sometimes. Okay, not in this case. The annoying thing is, even when you shut the key off, it still makes a sound. And that's why this drives people crazy. So I'm just going to unplug it here. Get it to stop. There we go. So I got it unplugged and finally stopped the tapping noise. Now you need a 5.5 millimeter socket on a 1/4 inch drive, like I've got right here. And I'll use this to take them off. Take the 2 bolts off that hold them in. It's got 3 holes, but only 2 of them have bolts on them. So that just makes it easier to get off. And it's one of 2 configurations. I believe this one is right here and the other one is down here. So I'm going to take these off right quick. This is what it looks like behind the dash. So if I can get the camera to just stay put. There we go. I hope the camera's getting some good video because I'm kind of going blind here. Can't really see anything. This really helps if you have a 1/4 inch air ratchet or an electric, a little electric gun that you can get in there. But this is all I have at home, so this will work. Just takes a lot more time to ratchet them and get them out. Once you get them out most of the way, take them out by hand so you don't drop the bolt. As you can see, here it is. Let's get the second one down here. And there's the other one. And after you get both of those screws out, the actuator just pops right out. Like so. Now, you may find it easier to do one of 2 things. You may prefer to unplug the electrical connector while the actuator is still attached to the HVAC assembly. Or you may find it easier to just take it out and unplug it out here. If you have a pick tool, it'll probably be easier to do it back there while the actuator is still stationary. Just try not to break off this little tab here, because if that breaks off, then there's nothing that holds the connector onto the actuator. And although the chances of the connector popping off are very slim, it still increases the chance that it could pop off. So I'm going to tuck that up out of the way. I put the new actuator in. The other thing I do is take the sticker off the old one. so you know which one's the old one and which one's the new one, or put a marking or an engraving of some sort so you know which one is the new one and you don't encounter the same problem again. I've done that where I've taken a part off and then I set it right next to the other one, and then I can't remember which one is which. So make sure you keep them separate. Now the tricky thing here is because the actuator isn't positioned the same way, I may have to move it around a little bit to get it to line up with the blend door, the temperature door rather. And there it goes. So you just gotta wiggle it in place, line it up with the holes. There we go. Let's put the screws back in. Again, if you can, start them by hand. You don't have to worry about cross-threading on this one because it's just going right into plastic, so it's not going to hurt anything. Okay, there's that one. Snug. Let's get the second one here. This one's a little bit more tricky, so I'm going to try to start it with just the socket and the extension for now. Go, got it started. Put the ratchet back on. And after a bunch of obnoxious knocking around, ratcheting later, gets good and snug. Plug the electrical connector back in and start it up. Now what I do just to recalibrate all the motors, since I don't have a Tech 2 with me to recalibrate them, I just run all the mode knobs and the temperature knobs and the recirculation buttons through all the different settings. Like so. Go through all the different options and make sure everything's good and quiet. Now I'll give you an idea of just what exactly these little motors are doing. As I press these two buttons here, the recirculation button and the outside air button, you can see the little door here opening and closing. So that's outside air. And that's inside air. You can see the little door open and close. That's how it works. All you're doing is those little motors are just changing door positions. I like it a lot better than the vacuum actuated ones, except when you have problems like this. That's how you fix it. So if you have this noise on your Impala, all you got to do is hope and pray that it's an easy accessible one, like that one, or the blend door motor on this side. The other two can be a real pain. Sometimes you got to take the dash out. It's no fun.